We have a new contender, a real contender who has solidified themselves in the title picture of the women's flyweight division. Alexa Grasso is now 3-0 since moving up. She was 3-3 at strawweight. She is now 6-3 in the UFC, 3-0 at flyweight. Or she was 3-3 at strawweight. I don't know if I said flyweight or strawweight, but either way, man. Fighter out of Mexico. We haven't had one of these who are really putting on in quite some time. We have her and Irene Aldana. Those are the only two we got. One's a bantamweight, one's a flyweight. And Joanne Wood fighting out of, Extreme Couture out here in Vegas, but representing the proud state or proud country of Scotland. Brother, it's looking rough for her these days, my man. Joanne Wood now drops to 15-8. He got choked out in 2 straight fights. But she was having a little bit of success, man. That's the weird thing about the situation is she looked like the bigger fighter. I'm not going to lie to you, AJ. Alexa Grasso actually looked a little outsized when I was watching that matchup. And right now, I got the main card playing back on the TV. The fight is on right now. And you see Joanne Wood, by overcommitting, put herself in a position to give up her back. Next thing you know, you get choked out. Should it be that easy to get you with a rear naked choke once your back is exposed? Probably not, right? Maybe you should be working on the jiu-jitsu chops a little bit more, but what was more impressive, Alexa Grasso's win or Joanne Wood's kind of fall from grace? Like, not necessarily impressive, but which one is more like telling right now? What do you think?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Man, it's weird because we all expected Wood to be the one that better on the ground, more well-rounded fighter, if you will. I didn't expect the Grasso submission to come at all. I was expecting Grasso to piece her up in the hands. And even with going back to what you were saying, Derek, I had it the same. I thought Wood was going to be the bigger of the fighter. She looked like to be the bigger fighter, but she didn't have that dominating, imposing will. And in fact, every time that I thought Wood was going to come in, Joanne Wood was going to come in and start kind of taking over the fight, she would get going, and then out of nowhere, Grasso would sort of have her best. She was showing up, she was putting it on. Should it be that easy? No, definitely not that easy to take a rear naked choke. But to me, I think what's more telling is the Joanne Wood not being able to capitalize on her moments. She would have a little bit of moments, kind of get the motion kind of going in her favor a little bit, and then lose that momentum and kind of get things turned around on her. So I don't know what she needs to do to be able to get back on track per se, but I think that's a little bit more telling to the story because it shouldn't be that easy for a striker, a Mexican striker that we all know has amazing hands, to be able to get there and put a submission on you, lock it up that quick, and get out of there, in the second round, first round? Yeah, it shouldn't be that easy for somebody who was as talented as Joanne Wood is. She's a very talented fighter, just hasn't put the things together, man.
But her striking, her Muay Thai is still incredible, man. When she was able to grab Grasso, get her in the clinch, throw those knees and elbows up, like I said, Grasso, she was on the back foot. She was pushed against the fence the whole time. It was her overcommitment that led to her demise in what was a mixed martial arts fight, not, a boxing match. It was just a straight up mixed martial arts fight. I feel a little rough right in this spot because Joanne Wood is also a plus 180 underdog in this spot, man. So it's like they pretty much thought Grasso was going to get the job done, and then Grasso gets the job done in a way that nobody saw it coming. I imagine Joanne Wood is going to be a big, big underdog in whoever her next matchup is against, but I guess right now the time is to talk about Alexa Grasso instead of Joanne Wood. So what is the future for Alexa Grasso, AJ? You beat number 7, right? You're firmly in that kind of title picture. Right now we have Taila Santos versus Valentina Shevchenko next, but the big question really comes down to, is Alexa Grasso ready? Do you think that she can fight Valentina Shevchenko right now and have any bit of success? Because even though Alexa Grasso is a very technical and skillful boxer, Valentina Shevchenko is a much better mixed martial artist in general in terms of all of the skill sets, the Muay Thai. Her boxing is crispy, right? When it gets down to the ground, she can control her opponents like it's nobody's business. Any way that you present a flaw or an opening, Valentina Shevchenko can exploit. So right now, are we really just meddling with the middle of the pack of the flyweight division? Y'all just keep fighting amongst each other to establish a pecking order, and then whichever one of you are lucky enough to get called on by Valentina Shevchenko or Dana White or McMahon or whoever the matchmaker is, then gets to fight the champ? Or should we have any concern for Valentina Shevchenko? Like, at this point, I still don't see anybody who is a real threat to her. Taila Santos, maybe a little bit, but come on, we've seen tougher opposition as of late. So what do you think?
Yeah, I was going to say, unless Taila Santos lands a crazy shot that we didn't see coming, almost how, I forget the fighter, but the one where Valentina lost like the first round to wrestling.
That was Jennifer Maia.
Was it Jennifer Maia?
Yeah.
How Jennifer Maia kind of took that first round, everyone was so shocked. If Taila Santos is able to get a crazy crack on the champ, I don't see anyone beating the Bullet right now, man.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
just too damn good. Alexa Grasso is as good as she, we know she is in her hands. Came out with the submission, looks good there. I still think there's levels to this game, brother,
Yeah.
and the Bullet is just too damn dominant. Unless we see something crazy out of Santos, which could possibly happen, but time will tell.
No, I agree with you. The other big thing to note is that Alexa Grasso, I believe this is her first finish since like 2014, man. She's not a big finisher. So how are you going to get that title shot if you're not the big finisher? At least Tyler Santos in her short UFC career, she's finishing people left and right. Alexa Grasso, on the other hand, man, she's very, like I said, technical, likes clean maneuvers, clean techniques, but sometimes you got to risk it to get the biscuit, and you can't walk through the rain without getting a little wet. Shout out to Mike Bisping right there, man. So huge win by Alexa Grasso. We will see where we go with the Joanne Wood. Would you count her out right now, though? My last statement on this. Do you count out a Joanne Wood at this stage of her career where she's in the later part of her 30s? She's lost a couple. Her last 10 fights haven't been that incredible. Do you count her out, man, or do you think that she has another push still in her, man? And that's the crazy thing, ever since changing her last name to Wood, man, we've seen a little bit of a downfall in her career. So I don't know what to make of that, but what do you think?
Seen a little bit of a down too. She's on a 3-fight losing streak, but look at it, Eric. The people she's lost to, Caitlin Chikagian, Jennifer Maia, Lauren Murphy, Tyler Santos, Alexa Grasso. Those are all incredibly top tier opponents. The Lauren Murphy, not so. That's probably the lowest one. But Caitlin Chikagian, Jennifer Maia too as well. There's kind of a couple. But either way, she's still losing to the top of the people. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't count her out necessarily.
Yeah.
But it's right there. 3-fight losing streak doesn't look good.
It doesn't look good, and let's put a little respect on Lauren Murphy's name, right? She didn't have much success against the champ, right? But against the rest of the field, she handles her business. Jennifer Maia, on the other hand, that's probably the lowest on the pecking order right now, especially given her last loss. Either way, it goes to show that Joanne Wood is a very talented fighter, but is she upper echelon in her own division right now? Not right now. We'll see what happens. Wish nothing but the best for Joanne Wood. Love that she's a massive Raiders fan. You got to love it, but this is Alexa Grasso's time. And I'm glad to see that we have a fighter out of Mexico who's really putting it on, man. Viva la raza right there. It's a beautiful thing to see.